Hello, my classy people. It is Monday, Abe. Great Breeders' Cup weekend for sure. And as always, turn your closed captions on for us. Hey, Miss Val asked if we would do a recap of the Breeders' Cup, and we want to take 5 minutes and recap some of the highlights of the Breeders' Cup for sure. Not to be overshadowed, but of course, there was a tragedy in one of the races, which was the Breeders' Cup Turf, race number 7, the race that Godolphin won with Rebel's Romance. A horse, I think Jabber Lee was the horse's name, that a 3-year-old that died in the race. Jay Barry, a 3-year-old French bred, suddenly suffered a heart attack in race number 7, which was the turf, the Breeders' Cup Turf, Longines, the race that Rebel Romance. So again, it was obviously we celebrated Godolphin winning, but it was overshadowed, right? We never want to see our equines get hurt. So our condolences goes out to the connections of Jaber B. For the loss of our fine equine, right, on what was otherwise a good weekend of championship racing. So our condolences go out to him. Let's turn our attention to some of the highlights on Friday. Of course, there was 5 Breeders' Cup races going on Friday, and of course, Godolphin got another win on Friday. The second race of the Breeders' Cup, race number 7. The juvenile fillies, the girls, was in town, and Immersive, trained by, that's right, Brad Cox and his band of merry horses. That was a very, very nice race, Immersive. Next stop, Kentucky Oaks. See you there. Or see Pretty Mischievous. Yeah. So Godolphin's got one lined up for the Kentucky Oaks that Friday before the first Saturday of May for sure. Hey, and the very next race, the 8th race, which was a juvenile filly turf, how good is Lake Victoria? That girl was streaking through there, and she meant business, boy. She did her thing, and I think she was 4-5 or whatever. But that was probably the best bet of the entire 2 days, right? Lake Victoria, race number 8 on Friday. And then we get to the race that I was really, really interested in, and don't get it twisted. East Avenue is not done. The juvenile, race number 9. Well, obviously, Bob Baffert in his home court. I ain't mad at you, Bob. He was doing some work with Citizens Bull, and Gaming ran 1-2. That's awfully good in a $2 million race. But he got away with one because my pick, East Avenue, totally missed the break. Okay, the smooth Tyler Gaffney only wasn't that smooth on Friday. But East Avenue will be back, of course. We'll be betting 3 times as much the next time he shows up in any entry box, because maybe down on the one in the first post isn't a good place to be as a baby. You and I know it. But again, hats off to Bob Baffert, Citizen Bull. And of course, we had Gaming as our 4th pick, and Bob, home court advantage, handled his business. And that really was the highlight of Friday. Immersive, the 2-year-old juvenile filly, Godolphin, and of course Lake Victoria, who just streaked out of there, boy. Looked like a rotary engine coming home. And of course, the big race on Friday, the juvenile, everybody's derby dreaming. East Avenue, the favorite, Mr. Break. So we just doubled up our future bet for the Derby for East Avenue, but not to take anything away from Bob Baffert and the work that he did to run 1-2 to get 60% of the pool and then 20%. Nice job, Bobby B. Hey, by the way, he trained Authentic. I can't be mad at him, right? For sure. Then we turn our attention to Saturday. Well, Saturday, right? I mean, Society in the filly and mare sprint. Wow, did that race come apart, right? I mean, Society ran a great race. The very next race was the turf sprint, and I think Irad was on a horse. Y'all correct me, but Cogburn might have went too fast and moved too quick. Cogburn should have won that race. So I think the jock may have gotten Cogburn, the fastest horse in the world, beat in race number 6 on Saturday. But that being said, again, it was bombs away. Hey, my third place pick, A.G. Bullet, was a nice price. I love me that 5, that A.J. Bullet, right? That A.G. Bullet, for sure. We're going to move on and eventually. So, race number 6, the Distaff Cup, Breeders' Cup. What are you going to say? Torpedo Anna is all that and a bag of chips. Torpedo ran a beautiful, beautiful race for sure. She's just world class, right? Likely winner that I have right here on my tip sheets. Obviously, everybody had to beat her. She was very, 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 very strong. And maybe Kenny McPeak and them is thinking maybe we should have ran in the Classic because Fierceness ran second, right? So, you know, Torpedo Anna did her thing. Hats off to Kenny McPeak and the wonderful job that he did with that filly. And the 7th race is the Breeders' Cup Turf. You know my boys. Shout out to Godolphin. You know what it is. Yeah, they got 2 of them done. East Avenue Mr. Break, but Immersive One and Rebel Romance. What else can we say, right? So we knew Godolphin was going to run big and huge like that for sure. That was our top pick along with Farbridge in that race. Now, 8th race, the granddaddy of them all, $7 million Breeders' Cup Classic. Well, let's just tip our hat to old Sierra Leone, right? That was our 3rd pick on our tip sheet here. We know that you would be picking them up and laying them down. Flavian did a beautiful job. The horse made that move at the top of the lane. I'm like, they can't outfinish her from there or outfinish him from there. And so we gonna tip our hat to Chad Brown and Flavian Pratt. Of course, the horse Mr. Derby. They paid $2.3 million for him. And then again, finally made things right. We knew somewhere along the line Sierra Leone was going to get up and beat a good field, and what a great place to do it at in the Classic. $7 million. So we had that exactor and trifactor. We boxed it up and we did our 4 horses with 4 with all. So Sierra won the race, $13 or $15. And the favorite Fierceness, the 2-year-old champ, ran second, and we caught a little something in the 3rd hole. So the exacta came back decent, and the trifactor. So the Classic wasn't a bust. We did like Highland Falls in there and Arthur Ride. They'll be back to sing another song on another day. But we did like Sierra Leone in our 3rd and Fierceness. So we cashed a nice trifactor there, along with a beautiful pick 3 going into race 9. Because in race 6, of course, we had the Godolphin. Race 7, of course, we had the Godolphin Rebel Romance. And in race 8, we used our 3 or 4 horses, Sierra being one of them. And we pushed that almighty all button in the 9th race. So we did really well there as well. And to close out the sprint, I warned y'all. Dan Blacker, the local trainer, married to that nice lady on TVG, right? Hey, straight, no chaser. Oh, what a great job. And funny thing is, straight no chaser sat in the catbird. You know, that horse is a speed demon. He set 3rd or 4th and circled him. So, again, the California boys, they had home field advantage. Bobby B winning over there to Juvenile. We ain't mad at him. That's what you should do when you got your home serve. And then Dan Blacker getting it done in the Juvenile race for sure. The Juvenile, not the Juvenile, what am I talking about? The Breeders' Cup Sprint for sure. And I'm going to end on this. The very last race, race number 12, which was the Big Ass Fan Dirt Mile. Well, Sorty Crown, I really thought Domestic Product had a shot at him. 5 wide at the top of the lane, Domestic Product, right? Did a very, 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 very good job for sure. And Sorty Crown didn't run that great, and Caesar Gray It was funny they didn't press, okay? So there's our recap. Overall, we probably made $300, but I ate so much seafood, it was just pathetic. So let me close it off by saying this. Let me tip my hat to myracehorse.com. You know they own Straight No Chaser. They own Seize the Grade too. But my friends, no, they also had that Straight No Chaser at 5-1. Nicely done. Always rooting for the home team, which is my team, my Racehorse Stables. And of course, Godolphin got 2 of them done. We got left at the gate at the juvenile. Go double up in the next Kentucky Derby pool. He was 10-1 East Avenue. He'll be 15 or 20-1. I'm going to double it next time. All right? I want Bob Baffert to show up with that Citizen Bull horse and that Gaming horse. When East Avenue could get a good break. I'm very disappointed at my smooth guy, Tyler Gaffleon. And of course, y'all know the very last race of the day. The number 3 horse. Fool somebody with the Rolex guy up, right? Nobody's won more Breeders' Cup races than him. Mike Smith probably, right? But again, what a great weekend of racing. That's what championship racing. A lot of great payoffs, a lot of great prices. That's what we want as horse racing. What we don't want is to see a horse, pass away in the Rebel Romance race for sure. So, which was race number 7. So again, our condolences out to them. The money aside, we don't care about that. We care about our equines staying healthy and having a long aftercare once they retire from the game we love. So again, to the connections of the J. Beebe, or I think J. Barra, or something like that. But the number 3 and race number 7 on Saturday, the Rebel Romance race, the horse had a heart attack. So again, our prayers out to him for being such a great champion, and to the connections and owners and the jocks, okay, for sure. Overall, what's my takeaway? A great weekend. We turn our attention to the Kentucky Derby preps, and of course, East Avenue will be back. For sure. My name is Wayne Bolton. I had a bunch of fun. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to view our videos and, of course, our tip sheets. We did fairly well on our tip sheets if you found the box button. Tough, there's championship racing, man. It's tough. So we have 4 or 5 winners that was dead on top. And if you used the box button, we did quite well. Thank you very much. So as always, I had a bunch of fun. I ate a lot of shrimp cocktail and all kinds of stuff. Having some fun, y'all, as always. Again, let's turn our attention as we move through the holidays and to the first of the year, and we'll be 3 or 4 months of the first Saturday of May. A lot of Derby prep races coming up. You know I'm all in on East Avenue. It is Godolphin. Shout out again to my racehorse, of course, with Straight No Chaser, and of course Godolphin with Immersive and Rebel Romance. I don't know what you're going to do with her, but Rebel Romance is just too much. Stay classy, y'all. Know that you do. We'll turn our attention to what's coming up next weekend. No, we got to get back to regular programming for sure. Miss Val, thank you. She made me do an afterthought here. She says you need to do a recap. And there's a SpeedKing recap. All right? Shout out to all the connections there, for sure. Great Breeders' Cup 2024 style.